Hello everyone, welcome back to Royalty Soaps. Today I'm going to be making 4 more soaps inspired by Taco Bell. Literally nobody asked for this. I recognize that. However, I have become emotionally dependent on Taco Bell. I love Taco Bell. I live in a very small town. There are limited food choices, but Taco Bell is one of them. And even if Taco Bell was the only thing in town to eat, I would still frequent it because I love it. So I'm gonna make some more soaps inspired by some of my personal favorites. But before we scamper on into the soap making video, today's video is sponsored by one of my absolute favorite sponsors, Skillshare. You wanna know something about Skillshare? I'll tell you. Skillshare is an online learning community where tons of people all go together to learn about all their favorite things like knitting and cake decorating and finances and entrepreneurship and all that kind of good stuff. And for people that are creating and doing and learning and growing, Skillshare is your best friend. I have used Skillshare to learn absolutely loads of things. Some of the most notable when it comes to my business are all of my Adobe skills. That's how I learned how to use Lightroom. It's how I learned how to use Photoshop. It's also actually how I learned to use Procreate, which is something that you use on the iPad. So I design all of my soaps on an iPad now. It makes file transferring so much easier. I used to just draw them with colors, and I mean, I did that for years. And then I watched some Skillshare classes, and I was equipped with the tools that I need to use something a little fancier. So the first 1,000 people to use this link will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. I will be leaving that link right in the description box below for your convenience. It is clickable, so you know, click a little link, get a month free. Try it out, see how you like it. Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video, and without further ado, let us memorialize Taco Bell in the form of soap. Soap number 1, Mountain Dew Baja Blast Freeze. Just gonna pour in my fragrance oil. This is scented with Bermuda Triangle. Into our first accent color container, we're adding just titanium dioxide. This is gonna be white. Next up, we're adding some hydrated chrome green. And then into the base, we're adding Tahitian teal and titanium dioxide. All right, everything is all blended up really good, so let's pour it into our mold. So I want this to look a lot like a slush or a Slurpee, so I'm just gonna pour in kind of a drop swirl pattern over and over and over again. And then I may go ahead and put a hanger swirl through it. I haven't really decided. I have a lot of time to kind of make the design, so I might as well just stick with a drop swirl. Okay, and now that everything is in the mold, I'll go ahead and clean up the sides, let it sit a little bit, and we will get ready to put on the soap frosting. Okay, so I have some frosting that looks exactly like the inside. I'm gonna go ahead, give this a quick spritz, and then we'll start frosting it on. So the thing about this is that I want it to look like, you know, a drink. I want it to look really, really fluffy. So that's why I chose the tip that I did. And now I'm just gonna mound it up. Because my tips are so large, I don't really have enough room on this soap to put 3 across. So I'm just layering 2 high. And then we'll put that final little dollop on to make it look like a drink. Put that last little bit on there. All right. Okay, so next I'm gonna put on a little bit of drizzle just to add a little bit of interest. You may or may not even be able to see this once the soap is cut. And then to sort of signify the ice on top, I have this salt. So this is gonna go all over the soap. I'm gonna have a ton that's gonna land on my table here. This is gonna make it look like a slush or something like that. It's the best I can do for soap. I have found that this gives the most authentic look. I kind of just have to throw it on. That's the best way to get it to stick. And for this whole soap, I will probably end up using the entire cup. Awesome. Now, we're not gonna worry about getting any extra salt off right now. I'll take care of that tomorrow. For now, we're just gonna go ahead and put the little paper straws in, just like so. All right, and this one's done, hooray. Cinnamon twisty time. This soap is gonna be fragranced with warm vanilla sugar so it won't discolor too much. So as far as additives and colors go, we have a little bit of 24 karat gold mica, we have some brown oxide and some titanium dioxide. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of coconut shell powder. Let's blend it all up. That coconut shell powder is from Brambleberry. It's kind of a new additive, I think, that I've seen. I haven't seen that additive available anywhere else, but I actually really like it in soap because it gives a really, really cool appearance of a lot of texture, maybe for like a cookies and cream type look that I would use coffee for, but it's without all of that extra scrubbiness that coffee has. It is exfoliating, but it's not that exfoliating. So let's go ahead and pour it into our mold. All right, go in with the soap and then some of the ones that have the least amount in them. We call those accent colors. I do not know why I can't talk today. Going to scrapey out my little containers. All right, let's go ahead and put the frosting and embeds on. Okay, so for the cinnamon, I have some brown down the sides here. I also have some white with the coconut powder in there, so it really does look like cinnamon. And then I'm gonna use the 𝐿𝐴𝐼𝐸 826 tip, which is this like super pretty frosting tip because it is supposed to be the most dessert-like of all the soaps. So I'm gonna play it up. And I'm also trying to pipe a little bit smaller just so that it can fit. I'm gonna spray the rest of this. I have already sprayed it once, but I wanted to spray it right before I put the piping on because I do want it to try to stick if possible. It looks so delicious, but I have to say the embeds for this particular soap are my favorite from the whole little mini collection that I'm doing here. They really are. So I turned this around so the markers would face me. And now we're gonna put on the embeds. Look at these, they're so cute. I'm just gonna place them right on top. Is that gonna be the best idea? Maybe I should put them on the side. Yeah, side is better, never mind. They're just a little long to be putting on top. Man, that coconut husk is really doing me proper over here. I'm trying to angle this so that it won't be cut whenever I have to cut these bars. Might have to cut these with an individual bar cutter instead of a multi-bar cutter. As long as there is enough space to literally get one wire through, we'll be okay. Huh, all right. Give it a little spritz on top, and our cinnamon twisties bar is done. Oh! Now I've already added some of the color into the main container. As you can see, it's very, very, very bright yellow. Have you eaten the nachos at Taco Bell? They are fluorescent. Let's just blend this up real quick. Okay, so we've got our two cheesy colors. What? I can tell you, it smells so good. It just, if you're thinking about it as cheese, I can see how there might be an ick factor. But it smells like hot pink lime from Nature's Garden, so it smells really, really good. All right, and we're just gonna pour this right in. This is a relatively simple design. It'll probably get kind of mixed up. I didn't want it to be like, oh, there's all these different cheesy colors. No, it's just supposed to kind of remind you of nacho cheese. Awesome, let's put some frosting on that. After I let it sit up a minute, it's a little bit runny right now. All right, guys, let's get some cheesy cheese on top. So I actually am gonna have to spritz this with rubbing alcohol because it has sat a little longer than I wanted it to. Them's the breaks sometimes. That's not the way I planned it, but sometimes life gets in the way of our plans. All right, so now that I have all that cheese on top, it's time to put in the little chips that I made. So these are really, really, really big embeds, but it's fine. We're just gonna kind of shove them in as we can. I'm gonna have them going kind of in all different ways, so they're not all exactly the same. I kind of like the way that looks. It was easy to put in. These are just huge. They're enormous. It's gonna make the whole soap so much more fun. Like a cartoon of what it's supposed to be. Okay, and now, using this second piping bag, I'm going to put some cheese on top of all this. I'm just gonna kind of drip it all over. Ugh, it looks disgusting. But it looks so good. Like, you totally know what it is, but do you want to? Okay, I think every little chip has some of the nacho on it, so we're doing good by my standards. And now, time for the final soap, the fiery Doritos Locos taco. So go ahead and blend this up. Okay, so this is the only Taco Bell soap that doesn't have soap frosting on it. What it does have is little tacos. I'm so excited. They're gonna be so cute. So I'm putting in some Maniacal Pea from Mad Micah's. That's the green we're using. Then we're adding a little bit of TD into that second container and a teeny tiny bit to anchor this one as well. And then we're adding some True Yellow into the final one. And of course, a teeny tiny bit of TD as well. Let's blend those up. All right, and let's go ahead and pour. I'm gonna start with the green and then go in with the white and then the yellow. Okay, so now time to add our little embeds. These are made out of melt and pour. They did take quite some time, I must admit. All of them are made by hand, by myself, and I can tell you all of the embeds for this particular video just took an absolute nightmare amount of time. But I know anything for my precious Taco Bell is going to be worth it. Also, I am definitely going to have to single bar cut these. I am leaving a microscopic amount of space in between them. It honestly took a really long time to get this color. I color matched, woo, that one's too big. Excellent, excellent. Let's try this one. I hope this one's not too big. Ah, barely, barely not too big. No, don't fall down, stay up. Okay, so now I have to make sure all of these are separated enough that I can get a cutter through them. And I think they are. I think I can get a cutter through every single one of them. So, whew, good for me. Okay, so now using this frosting bag and a little bit of the soap that I didn't put on the inside, we're gonna pipe the meat into the soap tacos. Oh yes, oh that's... There's no reason for this. Why am I like this? Why do I choose to do things like this? Ooh, I'm slightly afraid I'm not gonna have enough. Maybe I'll just put a little bit down each one and try to fill it in a minute. Okay, there's definitely gonna be enough. Hooray for that. I'm gonna let this sit up a little bit because it is not, it's just not ready for what's about to happen next. Okay guys, I'm bringing you in to watch me put lettuce on the very, very last soap because this took like 20 minutes. I really tried to make sure that none of these pieces landed in this crack here so that cutting would be really easy. but also because I didn't want any of it to like just fall off. Let's put on some cheese, otherwise known as curled chopped melt and pour. I tried to get it as tiny as I could. I couldn't even use a cheese grater because those pieces would be too big in comparison to how small the tacos are. Now let's add a few tomatoes on top because there's absolutely no reason why we shouldn't. I should probably put a little fire sauce on this. If you're not using fire or mild, you're living life the wrong way. Has a more perfect lineup ever been crafted? I don't think so. This is even better than last time. Okay, so we're gonna let the cinnamon twisties, the Doritos Locos fiery tacos, our little nachos, and the Baja Blast freeze soap all sit 18 to 24 hours, and then I'm gonna come in with a single bar cutter. We're gonna chop them up, take a look at the inside after this quick commercial break. Time to cut the best soap of all time. Gonna go ahead and unmold it. And then you probably noticed that I put some melt and pour to keep all of my little bits and bobs in. We're just gonna take a little knife and cut this excess off. No big deal. All right, and now we can cut it. So I am going to cut using my single bar cutter from Goodspeed, just because, like I said, it's just really hard to cut these pieces. Start with bar number 1. Excellent. Yes, yes, look upon it. I love it. Let's do another one. Come along here, dearie. Oh, yes. That looks nice, too. Prefer it this way. Ooh. Let's give it a couple spritzes with some rubbing alcohol. There we go. Oh, yes. And it smells really good, too. All right. It's chips and cheese time. I'm really excited for this one. I'm really unsure about it though, because this is it's just so big and it's sticking out so far. Let's just try the first one and hope for the best. Okay. Ooh, gross. It really shouldn't be that color. I'm pretty disappointed. It was supposed to be really vibrant and it has just turned to absolute nothingness. I mean, we still know what it is and all that kind of good stuff. I just wanted that cheese to be like super strong. Just another time where Katie tries to do something and soap has another idea. It's really hard to get a vibrant yellow in soap making. It is. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. It's still very extra and I have absolutely no complaints whatsoever about the top of the soap. The top is perfect. Cinnamon twisty time! Ugh, it smells so good. Yes! Look at that. Ah, it's perfect! Smells like warm vanilla sugar. It just could not look more perfect. It's literally perfect. All right, and finally for our Baja Blast Freeze, which smells amazing. What does it look like? Ah, yes, I love it. I am definitely making a mess out of this. The salt is kind of going everywhere, but I could not possibly be more pleased. This one looks, this one is my favorite. Look at that frosting on top. It looks like a real drink. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Which Taco Bell soap is your favorite from the lineup? I would love to know, because depending on which one you pick, it might be something I could recreate more of. As it is, these will be available as a limited edition item with the September soap release. They will be in collections of 4, so you can get the entire Taco Bell set. They are extremely limited. What you saw me make in the video are the only ones that are available, and they took hours and hours and hours to complete. So there you go. If you're really interested in getting one of these, be sure to set your alarm for the September release date. That is the Secret Soap series. And thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Guys, don't forget to use my link down below for a month free trial. Who doesn't love free? And be sure you do something fun for yourself today, whether that is going out, you know what I'm about to say, and getting you some Taco Bell. If you go, be sure to try the Baja Blast Freeze because it is just chef's kiss. Or maybe treating yourself to a super fun retro vintage t-shirt. My mom bought this for my birthday, so I don't know where it's from. If I can find it online, I'll link it for you, but it's my new favorite t-shirt, and all I wear is t-shirts, so that's saying something. I don't really care what you do, just be sure you do something fun for yourself, and I will see you guys in the next video. So until then, bye for now. Meow.